into this quality center
and
itself.
if they don't do that, will they tell you at the walkthrough?
Yeah, so you can ask your manager or your mentor or whoever is your lead. You can ask, and you can ask where do I find requirement specification. They'll say, okay, everything is in quality center, or everything is in quality in clear quest, or everything is we have in let's say in Bugzilla, or everything is we have in a Word document. We don't follow any tool.
And do you have to print it out? Or
If they're in the Word document,
if you want to read, yeah, you can print it out.
If they're in the Word document, then you can't do all this in there?
Yeah, you cannot do all those things
Then
here.
what would you do?
But if we have the requirements here, you
Mhm.
can export to Word document. If I write one requirement here,
Mhm.
and I will show you how to export it.
Can you upload the requirements you have for VM?
Import, there is the one format.
Let's
import the ones that we actually have.
No, because it doesn't return in a quality center compatible format. So I will show you first requirement how to write it.
Mhm.
Then we will write a test plan for that, test plan or test case for that, and then we will execute it, and then we will report a defect in that. So we will cover all the modules in that.
Okay.
Right. So let's write one requirement here.
This
What
is based on you have read the SRS.
Yes. So now you
Or
know
the
what
MRD.
is, yeah. So what was the first requirement we understood from the documents I highlighted and showed you? SRS.
SRS.
Yeah. So what was the one of them? Do you remember?
Patient monitoring?
A system shall allow creation of patient. System shall allow deletion of patient. System shall allow creation of vitals.
Vitals, yeah.
Right, now you remember, right? So now let's do that. So the requirement name, we different companies might follow different for requirement name format. So for our case, we will write SRS 0, SRS 1, SRS 2, and then we have sections under that 1.1, 1.2, right? So let's say we have this SRS 1.0, create patient. Then author, who is the author, you can specify that, where it was modified and other. So right now we don't have to give all these criteria, but in the detail what you read on the other document, system shall allow, so we can put that here. System shall,
And when you're doing this, you
allow,
can have the SRS in Wiki, right?
that's the idea. Some companies write directly into the document, some companies directly do it here. You don't have to do it already here.
Okay.
It will be either one.
Okay.
And QA engineers don't write these requirements.
It's already there.
We read the requirements. Right? So just to execute how the test plan works or how the test case works, we need to write by to understand the tool. We will write it here by ourselves. Creation of
Is anyone
patient.
going to check if this when we're writing on the new
Yeah,
form?
so that's when they will put that information, who review it. System shall allow creation of patient.
So it's basically, it should be like a very small description or
Detailed description.
detail.
Yeah.
Everything is
Create.
important.
It depends on the company to company how much detail they want to put in which document. Some companies have SRS only one liner. Some companies you will find even screenshots and everything in that. It depends on the company. It's not fixed, right? Create patient with first name, last name, patient ID, address, right? And let's say we submit this one. So we had one requirement in our system. Let's put one more. SRS.
But it can be more than what you wrote it?
Maybe 500. Yeah, maybe, yeah, more than what detail. I'm just explaining you basic things. Then you can work.
Where are we gonna get all this information from requirement?
You don't have to get all this information. What is the job of business analyst? What did I explain?
So
What
this
business
is
analyst?
not our job to write.
Yes. So business analyst who went to hospital, they write this thing.
Okay.
He's just showing you what everything is, how everything is set up.
One point or close, and I can put a child requirement to here by clicking on this one. So SRS, then we had that 1.1. Do you remember? Create patient. Again I'm writing it just for to show one thing. System system
You don't have to worry about the not
submit.
reviewed part, right?
Yes, you don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to even worry about writing requirement phase.
Because you're not
Don't
writing
worry.
it. The
No.
BA would write it.
SRS 1.2 update patient. 1.2 system shall allow update dation of patient. Now we wrote that up. This one should be under sorry, delete. We need to write it here. SRS 1.2 update patient. 1.2 system shall allow updation of patient. Submit. So now you see in the 1.1 section, you see. Now let's create a second section, SRS 2.0
All this stuff should
vitals
already be there as
manage
a QA, and you might just read the
management.
SRS.
Yes,
And this is when you check if that's what they want. Kind of
that's
like,
what.
yeah, okay.
So now you know the vital. Let me edit that. Create patient management. You should write a section as a patient management. Okay. So you know what to test in patient management. Now you know what is vital management. SRS 2.0
.1, no?
create vitals. Oh yeah, 2.1. You can say 2.0 also, it's not a problem. 2.1 system shall allow the user to capture vitals. Now you know there is a capture vital feature. Oh no, not here. If you select that module and if you click on this one, it puts one more child below that thing. So we need at this level. SRS 2.2 update vitals. System shall allow 2.1 2.2 allow deletion of vitals. Deletion of vitals. Date of vitals. So now do you see how the requirements look like?
Yes.
So you have all requirements already installed
Already.
here.
Yeah.
So why do we have then these papers?
Company to company. Some company writes there, some company writes here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just showing you if you have to write it there, how does it look over there? If you have to write it here, how does it look
as
in
as woman, I can print it out for myself and say like,
Yes.
can I take it home? Maybe I can write it. Or
Yeah, you can do that. Right?
And if
And
it's not, if they give it to you and it's not written, it's still not your job to write it.
see, when I created this requirement, it gave automatically the requirement ID. Right? So now do you remember what was the our requirement traceability matrix?
Are you going to tell us how to actually do that?
We already
Map
saw
it.
that.
No, how to actually map it to the
Yes.
table.
So in this one you can map your requirements. How many covered, how many not covered. So what is requirement RTM? Guys, remember? What is that?
it's a table which it's a table which are helping to map of requirements for the test cases.
Yes, okay. So let's see that. Now we know how to feed requirement in this one. Now let's create a test plan for these requirements. How many how many test cases we are going to write? Let's write a test case, then map it together.
Who writes the test plan?
Here in quality center, test plan means test case. For to create to test this requirement, what is your test plan? Means how you gonna test it in each step.
Aren't those two different things? Test case and test.
Maybe in software to software it may varies also. In actual theory they are different. under test plan I will create one test case. But for what is a test plan for patient management? So let's create a test plan, right? So now let's create a test plan for patient management, right? Patient management test plan, correct? What is your test plan for that?
You have to write the
Now I can delete it. Delete. Okay, that's fine. So now after I created a test plan, I'll create a test case. Let's say first what is your test plan? What is the attachment? What are the live management? So for this test plan here you will write what is my system requirement. What else did we wrote in the system test plan? Guys, remember that?
School.
Yes. So
Requirements.
open that scope,
so we write this.
Subject.
Overview.
requirements, then overview.
Reference.
Okay. What does that cover? Other than that, there was one major thing.
Define purpose.
That's come scope, requirement, or
Define
purpose, or whatever you say. There was one after that important
Module test. Test
modules.
cover.
Yes, modules. Other than that, what was other than that?
Software.
No,
Man hours.
no.
I don't know.
Estimate. Other than that,
Types of resources. Something.
Approach.
I'm sorry,
The windows.
Approach.
not approach.
Password procedure.
No. The important is test categories,
Yes.
where you define your what kind of testing you're gonna do. Functional testing, you're gonna do robustness testing.
What is
Robustness testing, and let's say you're gonna do data or you're gonna do security testing. You're gonna do performance testing. What kind of testing you are going to perform on the system
Functional testing.
Which is needed for
based on studying the requirement, which is required. Do you think security testing is required for this one? Only security users gonna do that.
No.
How much deeper security testing is required? How much performance testing is required? How do you define? By studying the requirement, and
So
that
this
your
one
test
would be-
lead or test manager will define that these many types of testing we need to do,
That's what my question
and
is.
unit testing is defined.
Is that already predefined for us?
No, you can put input when they design the software test plan.
Who designs a test plan? That's my confusion.
Based on your experience, you can be the design. Right now, if I have to write test my application, I can write the test plan. Let's say a junior QA engineer is there, he cannot write the
But
QA
you can
engineer.
tell like you never wrote the test
But you
plan,
can,
right?
but if you
So
know
you
all
know
these
who
things,
was
you can say I was
responsible.
involved in writing test plans. So nobody writes the entire test plan if it's a big software.
That's what I was
Because
gonna say.
usually
Are we gonna
test
be
plan-
required to write it because of our prior experience?
I
Yes.
heard like the test
So
plan is
that's what we covered in last week session. How to write a test plan. We know the indexes, right? What to write in the test plan and
Yep.
what to write in each section.
But for test one, I heard like it's more senior testers
Yes.
or lead testers
Unit testing.
writing the test
So
plan.
these are the things that we are going to
we not
do.
so
What are the verification methods you are going to write? What is the risk